Howard Gardner's seven intelligences. So I think this is very important to understand. We as humans, I think, intelligent. So to understand that intelligence is not just being able to predict the next word, is actually it's of the intelligence, right? So understanding that humans, we are never, I think, going to be that irrelevant in our lifetime so quickly, as long as we're able to innovate. So when we understand that intelligence, and especially for humans, it's all about the seven intelligences that, according to Howard Gardner, are what is called the multiple intelligence theory. I think is what it's called. I'm pretty sure we could, check a little bit on seven intelligence. Sometimes they have it as nine intelligences, but the overall idea is, I hope my screen is visible to everybody, and the seven intelligences. So the first, of course, being visual or spatial. Right? Let's just take this as an example. There could be other things, but let's just take this as a start, which I think is important. So these are the seven important 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, and this naturalistic is probably a new thing that's come, but let's just stick to these, the first seven, right? Yeah, that was easy. So visual or spatial. So this is the ability or the intelligence of being able to create things, right? So let's say you're a painter, you're a sculptor, you're a maker of something. It's a visual and a spatial intelligence. The second is what we're doing now. It's the ability to communicate, the linguistic or the verbal intelligence. And the third is the logical or the mathematical intelligence, right? So being able to do numerical tasks as well. Interestingly, the fourth is also what we call a kinesthetic or a bodily intelligence, right? So for people who are into sports or people who are into dance or other kind of physical activities, it is also an intelligence. So I can't really expect. I mean, I can't really expect right now a very elegant, robot dancer or AI dance right now. There is, of course, Boston Dynamics with their work, but it's going to take a while to get there. Musical intelligence. That was something that was wonderful that I felt was very important because, as many of you know, I think Albert Einstein was also very much into the violin. Music definitely is what we call a full workout for the mind, right, for your brain. And not only listening to music, but when you play music, every part of the brain, and there's a TED talk on this. I'm happy to, you could probably check it out. And it's very interesting, like you have a full body workout in the gym. This is almost like a brain gym or a mind gym when you play music. So I totally relate with that musical intelligence. And then the sixth is what we call interpersonal, which is basically the ability of two people, or how are your interpersonal skills, right? So how well do you communicate with others, your relationships, etc. And the last is something that's very relevant, I would say, to a lot of us, is what we call intrapersonal, which is within ourselves, the intelligence to manage ourselves well, right? I think that's a great way to put that. So happy that happy that Howard Gardner has done all this wonderful work, and this is the simple reason why that we are a long way from AI actually taking away a lot of these abilities. So the second or the first one is, of course, to understand the hybrid lifestyle quadrangle, which is comprising of four components, which is your health, your work, your activities, and your relationship. You could probably put them in, more like a diamond shape, and have them there. There's a way to approach that. We'll get to that later in some detail. And the second one, of course, is to understand the whole uncertainty around AI. Why you will always be better than a lot of contemporary AI, at least, is because of Howard Gardner, right? So any of these or all of these or many of these, if you build these intelligences, I think you're going to be very, very relevant for quite a while. So you're okay for a while. So this is, I think, the way that you would move from this work-life kind of balance, so-called work life, which I think is not really the best way to look at it. Because if you have four things here and 60% is work, it's not that the remaining three are going to take up any proportion. So there's not really a balance here. I would say it's more a harmony where you're having the right proportions of each of them. and they would vary at certain times. Nothing much to balance. I mean, it could be just like verbal, but the objective is to succeed in that attempt to find work-life balance, and that would happen when we build on all of this.